Ghana beyond AIDS, rejuvenating the local economy through accountable governance. Please forgive me if accountability is too much in my presentation, because my job is Auditor General. I have to hold people accountable. And that is exactly what I am expected to do this afternoon. When I looked at the topic, I thought I should research a bit. Then I came across the Ghana Beyond AIDS charter and strategic document, where I started understanding the topic very well. And I also listened to the father of Ghana Beyond AIDS, that is the president, what he has to say about Ghana Beyond AIDS. And I came into conclusion that Ghana is already beyond AIDS. We only have some problems. If we solve those problems, we will be beyond AIDS. Without solving those problems, we will remain where we are. And so those are the issues, Madam Chairperson, I would like to tackle this afternoon. Issue number one, I am of the considered opinion that, yes, the private sector is the engine of growth. Is that not it? But the public sector is the fuel. And no matter how new and strong your engine is, if the fuel is dirty, you can't run. So if you are running with dirty oil, it is my considered opinion that unless we reorientate the public service to become a service delivery institution, instead of an institution which serves the bosses, instead of the people of Ghana, we are not going to get there as Ghana Beyond AIDS. The question I would like us to ask is, how many public servants get up every morning and think about service delivery? How do I serve the interests of Ghanaians? Everybody is looking at, how do I make the Auditor General happy? How do I make the minister happy? How do I make the president happy? Those guys are supposed to serve, not to be served. But that is the problem. Permit me to say that the public service, as structured today, I think cannot help us to achieve the Ghana Beyond AIDS. It is an over-centralized institution, and Nana Tuata was talking about the fiscal decentralization, and from my considered opinion, I hope we talked about the political and administrative, so I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the money side, the fiscal decentralization. From my point of view, Ghana's fiscal decentralization is within 5 kilometers square, spanning from Jubilee House to the sea. That is the end of Ghana's fiscal decentralization. It will even be wrong for you to say it's in Accra. It is all over there. And the question I ask is, if a teacher will have to come to this day and age from Bolga to come and get his salary keyed onto a computer system so that he or she can be paid, then does it make difference whether you be going to Accountant General or Ministry of Health or Ministry of Finance? So decentralization must be necessarily geographical. I think all of you have mobile phones, don't you? When you are driving, or those of you who are lucky to have drivers or take public vehicles, when the vehicle is driving at the speed of 100 kilometers per hour, you are on your phone communicating, is that not it? Sending emails and receiving emails. So is it not a shame that we have a country where to promote a teacher, he has to travel the full length of the country? So to come and just key an input, changing from one grade to another grade. So we must start thinking radically, because there are low-hanging fruits that we can easily pluck and eat, but we don't. And all that you hear is that we are bringing experts from China or from the moon to come and solve our problems. In fact, our problems are basically common sense, which is eluding us many times. And let's have a critical look at it. I had a study of the Constitution itself, and I like the Constitution and hate the Constitution. Because when I started looking at Article 35, 6D, it talked about we having a decentralized type of democracy, and power should be transferred to the regions and the district. I say, fantastic. But when I reached Article 190, where it created about 16 services, and you know, those services are overheads. And they consume too much of public resources. And because of those services, the public funds cannot trickle down to the people on the ground. I was making a presentation in the ministries about 6 months ago, and I said, public financial management in Ghana is storms at the top and drizzles at the bottom. Do you understand that? It storms at the top. When they mention the budget, Ghana Education Service budget is how much? So and so billion. But then go to the classroom and see how much reach there. Zero. The issue is that we have too many services. If you go under Article 190, we talk about civil service, judicial service, audit service, education service, health service, mosquito service, several services. And all those services are big. They are not small institutions. And as if that level of centralization is not enough, successive governments from Rawlings to today have created ministries on top of those services. So what is the serious difference between Ghana Education Service and Ministry of Education? Has it ever crossed your mind that this is just a wastage? What is the difference between Health Service and Ministry of Health? Are you following me? Then you have Police Service, Immigration Service, etc. service. Then we have Ministry of what? Interior. What security decisions are taken there which the police don't know? So what I'm trying to say is that we have created structures which duplicate themselves to the extent that by the time we feed these structures, money's left for your development work at the district level is finished. That's the point I'm making. So we need to restructure the public service. Currently we have 16 regional administrations. Is that not it? And mind you, each region is a ministry. So when shall we as a country see the regional budget or the district budget? If you go into many economies where development runs, the district budget will show education, it will show water, it will show repairs of the feeder roads and whatnot, etc. The point I'm talking about is this. When we talk about holding people accountable, who knows the total resource envelope which goes into a district in Ghana before even holding them accountable? If you don't know how much I have in my pocket, how do you hold me accountable for the money I have? There's a lack of transparency because before the monies go to the districts, it goes to the various ministries. And the ministries to their department, department to their agency, agency to regional, regional to district. By the time it reaches the facility, it's finished. F4, yes, thank you very much. That's the right word. It's finished. Nothing left. So we must have to look at it. In fact, what even complicates our case is that the public funds of Ghana itself is also divided against into different funds. The Constitution talked about only 3 funds. If you go under Article 176 of the Constitution, it talks only about the consolidated fund, contingency fund. Then for local government, it talks about the local government, common fund. This is the Assembly Common Fund. There are only 3 funds mentioned in the Constitution. But today we have gate fund, a road fund, mosquito fund, corruption fund, all sorts of funds. And people ask, why do you create funds? We create funds because if you are in charge of the funds, no matter what, you will sleep empty stomach. Are you with me? So first and foremost, the public funds of Ghana is divided into several funds, then allocated to several ministries, then from ministries to departments, departments to agencies. By the time we talk about the school building, the money is finished. By the time we talk about the hospital, the money is finished. So I think there's a serious structural defect in the public service which we may have to look at. That is one aspect of my argument. And forgive me, but I normally tell people that we are playing football with a volleyball team. That's where we will win. Because the public service we have is not for development. It is a public service to serve our stomach. So whoever gets there, you will see that his personal economic recovery is moving on. Meanwhile, the country remains what it is. Another critical issue which we have to address as a people so that we can actually achieve the Ghana Beyond 8, Madam Chairperson, is corruption. I hope you all know corruption. It's a very familiar topic, isn't it? You have not seen it. Oh, okay. You only hear of it. Then lucky you. Blessed are those who have not experienced corruption. The day you send your child to hospital, when you think you need medical attention urgently, and they tell you that the medicine is finished. And then they have to show you where you have to go and buy it. Otherwise, your child will die. And the day you run into a deep pothole and your vehicle veer off the road, but we have used the public funds to construct the road. You see the road just between the Tekwashi roundabout coming in front of Legon to Medina. We did a road audit on it. I brought my team and said, let's go and do road audit. We bought the quarry machine, which we can take a cylinder sample of the bitumen, measure it. So we brought the contractor and said, bring the bill of quantity. So the bill of quantity said 13 inches. Is that not it? He said, good. We call it, we pull it out, we measure and we give the tape to him. How did you get 13 out of 11? We are not able to get it. So measure it for us. He said, AG, it cannot be exactly 13 throughout. Since you are taking samples, you are likely not to get the 13 everywhere. I said, good. That's why I agree that we are taking 60 samples. Show us 30 sample sites. We are also taking 30 on our own so that we find the average. How come that you couldn't even find 2, which is above the 13 or up to the 13? But such a contractor has been certified and what? Paid. So if we don't have to address the issue of corruption, then the Ghana Beyond 8 will be a challenge. We have what it takes to be there. But our biggest obstacle, from my point of view, is corruption. We may have to ask ourselves, how many of us discharge our duties the way we are supposed to discharge it? Many of us here will come to work at 10 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, we are gone. And we think we are not corrupt. We are fine. Some of us have vowed that we will never reach the age of 60. So we keep changing our birth certificate, swearing affidavits, and we swear that as for 60, it will never reach us. But we are not corrupt. However, the graduates you are producing from here are on the streets. The graduates you are producing are on the street. They don't have the same opportunity to also serve Mother Ghana. So if we shall change our mindset and do the right things and also finally respect ourselves, it disturbs me when government would like to engage consultants. They will not come to an institution like this and say, look guys, I want this type of service. Can you put your heads together and help me out? The first thing is consultants from somewhere else. And these consultants come in only to come and learn from us. So if we can do these things, I believe we shall reach Ghana beyond it. I don't want the red card. So I'll end here. Thank you very much.